Hello, beautiful folks, and welcome back to Resin with me. I know it's been a little bit since my last video, so I wanted to use this as an opportunity. I'm just going to make a few little quick, simple projects while we catch up over what's been going on. So first off, I just wanted to show quickly, these are the molds that I'm going to be using, the little pudding jar molds that you may have seen in some of my shorts videos. And these are the decal stickers that I like to use. They're holographic, and as many of you know, I love all things shiny. The green one, I actually just poured like a tiny bit of leftover resin in that one already to get it started. So that's why you see some resin in there already. But other than that, for the most part, we're going to be making these from scratch along with one other item. And just to show very quickly, this is the resin that I'm using for this project. For the green jar, these are the glitters that I'll use, both by Larissy. I like to use just a hint of them to give it a little shimmer. Also using some alcohol inks by Let's Resin. The blue will be for the blue jar, green is for the green jar. All right, and so I had already added just a dash of the gold glitter, so I'm going to go ahead and mix that up here. And then we'll add in a dash of our green and mix that up too. Now, I like to keep the lids of the jars clear, just with the glitter. I don't add any of the color. So after I've added the glitter and mix that in, I go ahead and fill up the lid for the mold for the jar. And then I just pour it right over the holographic stickers. I don't actually stick those to the mold or anything, and they stay pretty stuck. And because I really want to be able to see the holographic flower stickers, I will go in and add a little bit of clear resin to the center just to try to push some of that glitter off to the sides and make the top of that really clear so that we can see those beautiful holographic flowers. Now for the jar piece, I like for the color to get deeper as you get to the bottom of the jar. This is of course flipped upside down, so the bottom of the mold is the top of the jar. So I will first start off by just pouring in the clear resin with the glitter, and then I'll pour in some more, but that's where I'll add a drop of the alcohol ink. And each time that I pour a little bit more resin, I add another drop of the alcohol ink just to try to get a deeper color as I get to the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and push that green off to the side so we can work on blue. I'm doing the same thing. I've already got my holographic flowers on the lid, and then I'm just going to mix in my holographic gold, the same gold that I used in the green. I really like to use that with all of the colors. I feel like it just goes really well with everything. And then I am adding two different shades of blue glitter as well. Sadly, it got cut off, so I don't have the names of these, but both of them are also by Larissy. I believe the darker blue is holographic gold, and then the lighter one is maybe going to be it's some other kind of blue. But the names honestly don't really matter. You can go with whatever shade of blue you want. I mean, any color that you want. So I'll go ahead and start doing the same thing that I did with the green. I want the lid to be clear, so I'll pour in my clear resin mixed with the different shades of glitter. And then just to make sure that I can really, really see those flowers on top and they're not cluttered by the rest of the glitter, I like to pour in straight clear resin. And then for the jar, the container part, we'll go ahead and do the same thing that we did with the green, where I am just starting off with my clear resin mixed with the glitter. And then each time that I pour some additional resin, I'm going to add in another drop of alcohol ink just to make sure I have a really nice deep blue at the bottom of the jar. So while I'm pouring that, just wanted to give you guys a quick little recap. I haven't been super active on YouTube for the last few months because outside of work, I've mainly been focusing on local vendor markets. I do sell my goods at local markets in addition to Etsy, but with the summer here, the hot weather approaching in Texas, it's just not something that I want to do over the summer. So I thought this would be a really good time for me to go ahead and get back into making some videos for you guys. So I'm super excited, and I hope that y'all are ready for some videos to come up now. All right, so I set the jars off to the side because I also have a very special announcement. that I wanted to make during this video. Unfortunately, my video cut off. I really need to get back into, the groove of recording videos. But I'm working with a mold here. It's actually a handmade mold it comes from Into Resin, INTO resin. And the exciting announcement is that I actually have a code with them where you can support me if you choose to purchase any molds from there. It also gives you a 20% discount. And I'm very excited to share that with you guys. I know sometimes in the comments you'll ask where I got a certain mold. So I'm super, super excited to be able to share a discount code with you all. I will have that linked and I'll have the code in there as well for you to use. But this one here, I will, kind of have a caveat. It is a little bit more of an expensive mold because it's handmade. They have a much more affordable option of this style, but I will say, I personally think that the higher priced one, this one here, is worth it because the shine that you get is just completely unmatched. So they do have a more affordable option though, but it really just gives more of like a pebble look. It doesn't have nearly the amount of reflection that this one does. And I will show you guys a video what it looks like. But all I've done here is I've just kind of used some of my leftover resin. I poured in some pink, purple, and blue transparent resins just to give a little ethereal look. A tiny dash of glitter has been mixed in there as well. But yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like in the end. I just wanted to kind of show you guys because I'm just very excited to have this code for you all and be able to offer where I'm getting all of my molds. All right, so it's the next day, time to unmold these. Honestly, it wasn't really time because I poured them later in the evening and this was very early the next day. So you can see here, they're still a little bit bendy. That's okay. I was just being a little impatient. I really wanted to see what it looked like. After this, I set it off to the side to let it finish curing and it cured perfectly fine. But look at just absolute reflection that this shows. This is what I'm talking about whenever I talk about how shiny and reflective it is. The reflection's not coming from any glitter. This is genuinely just the effect of the mold. So that's why I personally say the more expensive one is worth it. The more affordable one just is not going to reflect this much. All right, so let's go ahead and get Miss Blue out of this mold. So this is the lid, and this is why I really like for it to be clear so you can focus on those flowers. Does anyone else struggle with getting jars out of molds? I always end up using like my chin as a third hand. I spray alcohol just because that's what I have handy, but I think water would probably be even better because the alcohol tends to just evaporate very, very quickly. But you can see adding the liquid does help to make it easier to get these jar molds off. So if you need a tip, that's my tip. Otherwise, you can use your chin like me. All right, so time to get green out of the mold. And obviously the lid's gonna look very similar to the blue. This one actually did have a little more glitter in the center around the flowers, and that's okay. I'm not mad about it. I think one of the things I really love about resin is that every piece is truly unique. Even when you try to replicate something that you've made in the past, it's still gonna be very slightly different. So every piece is truly unique. And with the jar itself, I do wish that I'd added a bit more of the alcohol ink towards the bottom. It's not quite as deep as I was going for, but that's okay. I'm actually still really happy with the way that it turned out. And this is me the next day desperately trying to get this aesthetic video. It did not happen because it was overcast, of course, just my luck. So you really don't get to see how shiny they are. I do have some other videos, some shorts of these jars in other colors where you do absolutely get to see how pretty they are, how shiny and reflective they are with all of the different gold glitters and the flowers. But it's okay. I just wanted to make other colors to have options. And same thing with the tray. I was really, really trying to get the reflection. It just was not going to happen with the overcast day. But I sure as heck came outside the next day with my phone because I was going to get the video. And here it is. It's so gorgeous. I love how reflective it is. So yeah, that was my goal. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video, and, like I said, I'll be making more this summer, and I hope you all are excited to tune in and watch. Have a great day, y'all.